Hi everyone, this is Norma with All My Crochet, and today I have a little different tutorial for you. I'm going to show you how to make this cute little pumpkin right here. Very easy, very simple. It is a no-sew and works up really quick. I am making these for our trunk or treat at church, which is October 25th, and the kids will each get one of these pumpkins along with candy. I've probably made over 100, so we'll see how many kids show up. Hopefully everybody will get enough. Hopefully we have a lot of kids coming, so we will see. But I'm going to show you the materials that we need to make this little quick pumpkin here. Okay, we need any kind of green yarn. I have yarn from Hobby Lobby, but you can use, this is a size number 4 medium weight yarn, and that's what I have here. You can use any size yarn, and it all depends on the size you use, the bigger the pumpkin or the smaller the pumpkin. I'm also have some brown yarn, and then this is a neon orange. I thought it'd be fun to make some in neon. We need some scissors. You need a darning needle to sew in your ends, a stitch marker. We need a little black for the eyes and for the mouth. And then the crochet hook I am using is an E 3.5. But again, if you use a bigger hook, the pumpkin will be bigger as well. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to show you how to make the little curly leaf and then the stem. Okay, these two pieces that go onto the pumpkin. So we're going to start with the stem. And the stem, what we're going to do is take our crochet hook. We're going to do a slip knot and we're going to chain 4. You want to leave a little bit of tail because we're going to need that to tie this onto the pumpkin. Okay, I'll show you how to do that in a little bit. So we're going to chain, we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, now we're going to skip the first stitch. In the second stitch, we're going to put 2 single crochets in the same stitch. Okay, now in the next chain, we're going to put a single crochet, next chain, single crochet, and then in the next chain, single crochet. Okay, and that's our little stem right there. So then what you're going to do is just do a chain, pull to cut and tighten that, and then cut your yarn. And we have a little tail right here. So this is the stem that we're going to use. We're going to put this to the side, and we're going to use this a little bit later. Now we're going to make the curly leaf. The curly leaf, we're going to grab our green yarn. Again, we're going to do a slip knot, leave a little and there. Okay, and then we're going to chain 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, now we're going to skip the first stitch again, and in the next stitch, and every stitch going all the way down to the end, we're going to work 3 single crochets in every stitch. So skip the first one, go into the next one, and we're going to work 3 single crochets in every stitch all the way down. So in each stitch, 3 single crochets all into the same space. Okay, so I'm going to work this all the way down, and I will see you at the end so I can show you how to curl this. So I've made 3 single crochets in each stitch. This is what it looks like, but what you're going to do now, okay, first of all, we're going to, after you finish that last stitch here, we're going to do a chain and then pull tight and then cut our yarn. So you're going to pull this and then you're going to cut your yarn here. And I'm going to show you how to curl it. Okay, pull your yarn. So then this is where we cut it. So all you're going to do is take this and twist it like this. And it's going to curl up on its own. So that's all you're going to do. And there you go. You have your curly stem, or your curly leaf, I should say. And then we have our stem. Okay. Now, normally I make a whole bunch of these at a time, and I'll put them like in a baggie and that. So I'm not having to work it each time. I'll just make a whole bunch. So I have these ready when it's time. Okay. So now we're going to work on the pumpkin. We're going to take our orange yarn. We're going to do a magic ring. Okay. And inside that magic ring, you're going to put 8 single crochets. So we're doing our chain, doesn't count as a stitch. Now we're going to do 8 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, now all you're going to do is pull on this string to close the ring up. Okay, and that's round number 1. For round number 2, we're going to do an increase in every stitch. So in every stitch, you're going to put 2 single crochets. So at the end of row 2, you have 16 single crochets. So I did 1, and this is my second. I'm going to put my stitch marker in that first stitch that I did to mark it. And then in every stitch around, you're going to put 2 single crochets in each stitch. So at the end of round 2, you will have 16. So just go around and do 2 single crochets. I'm going to continue to work this, and I will see you at the end of this row. Make sure you count your stitches so that you have 16 stitches. So I have my 16 stitches right here. Now you can close this up a little bit more because you don't want to see the hole. So normally I just pull on it and pull tight and then close up that ring. Okay, so for round number 3, we're going to work in the first stitch 1 single crochet. So I'm going to go ahead and put 1 single crochet and put your stitch marker back in there. And then in the next stitch, we're going to work 2 single crochets into the same stitch. So 1, 2. So that's going to be the pattern. Okay. So we did 1 single crochet in the first stitch, then 2 single crochets in the next stitch. Okay. So that's going to be the repeat pattern for this row of increase. And this is all we're going to increase is just in this third row. We increased in the second row and in the third row. So it's going to be next stitch, 1 single crochet, the next stitch, 2 single crochets into the same stitch. So we're going to repeat this pattern all the way around, and at the end of round number 3 we will have 24 single crochets. Okay, so again, next stitch, 1 single crochet, next stitch, 2 single crochets. So we're going to repeat this all the way around, and I will see you at the end of round 3, and you will have 24 single crochets. So right here we are done with row number 3, and I have 24 single crochets. Now at this point, I'm going to put on the curly leaf and the stem. Okay, I like doing it early. You can do it whenever you want, but I like doing it early. Okay, so let's grab our stem and our curly leaf right here. Okay, so first I'm going to do the curly leaf. Okay, so what you're going to do is you have 2 ends here. We're going to grab one end here, okay, and the back end here, okay, and we're going to grab our darning needle. Okay, let me show you. We're going to put our darning needle right here in the center where we formed our magic ring, right in the center, right there. And we're going to put that through there. And then you're going to grab the one end of your curly leaf, and you're going to put that in here. And then you're going to just pull down to the back so it comes out through the back. Okay, as you can see. Okay. Now, the other part of this curly leaf, we're going to put in the next row. So this is this is row number 1 and then row number 2. So right here in the center, and these little circles here where your stitches are, you're just going to grab one of them and put your darning needle in there, and then you're going to put your yarn in here, and then we're going to pull to the back. Okay. So as you can see, they're like a stitch apart in the back. And then you're just going to kind of pull on it a little bit and then tie a knot or 2. So I'm going to do 2 knots. 1 and 2. Okay. So there we have our little curly leaf. Now this is going towards the back, and here's our little curly leaf right there. Okay, now we're going to do the stem. We're going to do the same thing with the stem, but we're going to do it on the other side over here. So in the center again, right here, we're going to put our darning needle in. We're going to grab the stem. Okay, now let me just show you here. This is the front of the stem here. Okay, you can see where the stitches are, the front and then the back. Okay, so we're going to do the front. So we're going to do it on this side right here. So we're going to grab this end right here, and we're going to put it through our darning needle first. Okay, and then pull down so it comes out through the back, just like that. You can see it. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing between round 1 and 2. You're going to put it in one of these stitches here, your darning needle. Okay, and put it right here, and then put the other end that we have here and push it through and then down. Okay, so now we have the 2 ends right here on the bottom, and then we're going to tie that as well. Just give it like 2 knots or whatever. I normally just do 2 knots. And then if you want to tie it all together, the green and the brown, you can, but I normally don't. That's it. That's what I have right here. See, at the top. Okay. Now we're going to continue to go around our pumpkin. So we did the increase of the single crochet and then 2 single crochets in the same stitch, which gave us 24 stitches here for round number 3. So now from round number 4 through 10, all we're going to do is 1 single crochet in every stitch around. No more increases, just 1 single crochet in every stitch. So I'm going to grab my yarn here. I'm going to go into that first one and do a single crochet, put my stitch marker back in, and we're starting round number 4. Okay. And we're going to do a single crochet all the way around. And we're going to do this for round number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and row 10. Okay. So I just did working on row number 4. So I will meet you here at the end of round 10. And like I said, there's no more increases. 1 single crochet in every stitch around. When you get to here, the stitch marker, take it out and then continue again for the round number 5 and so on all the way up to round number 10. I will meet you at the end of round number 10. So here I have finished row number 10. I'm going to show you how I count the stitches. So if you pull these back, you'll see this one right here. This is the first row right here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so that's how I count the stitches. Now we're going to add the face to the pumpkin. Okay, so you're going to grab your black yarn and we're going to start with the mouth. So what I like doing is this is to the back, okay, and right here this is the front. So from the bottom we have row number 1, 2, 3 from the bottom. So in that third row from the bottom, well, I shouldn't, yeah, 1, 2, 3. So right here, okay, we're going to put our needle through the back and come up through the stitch right there. Okay, so again, 1, 2, 3 from the bottom. Put our needle right through there, kind of close to where the stem is at right here. Okay, pull this up. And you're going to leave a little bit in the back here. As you can see, I have this black yarn here. You're going to leave it in the back here. Kind of hold on to it with your finger as you're doing this so it doesn't come out. Okay, so if we're going to, this is where we have the yarn coming through. Okay, so if you go over, you go below it is right here. You're going to go across 1. Okay, so this is the yarn coming out. Go below and then cross over 1 stitch. And that's where you're going to put it through the top and come out through the bottom there like that. Okay, so do that yarn. And as you can see, that's what it looks like. So it's a little curved right here. It's a little zigzag here. Okay, so now we came out there. So if you go up on top and then go over, that's where we're going to put our next stitch. So this is where we came out. Okay, go up and then over 1 stitch, and this is where we're going to go, but we're going to go from the back this time. So right there, we're going to put our next stitch. Okay, so again, let me just show you. Try to grab my scissors so you can see. So we came out here, and then if you go up 1 and then across is where we're going to come out for the mouth. Now you're going to pull that through. Now we got to go back to that stitch right here. Okay, so we're going to go back like that. So we're going to go from the top and go through the bottom and then pull that stitch. Okay, so that's what we have right here. So now, okay, I know we went through this one, but we're going to go back to the stitch. If you go down one and then across, this is where we're going to put our next stitch. Okay, so I'm going underneath right there, pulling it through, and then, okay, then we're going to go to this stitch right here on the top, okay, and put it through there and come out. Okay, so we have one more to do. Okay, so we're at this stitch right here. If you go to the top and then over one, this is where we're going to come through our next stitch. But we're going to go from the back, and you're going to come through the stitch right there. Oops, got my yarn tangled up in there. Okay, and then we're going to go over back here, and our mouth is done. So that's what it looks like. So you can do anything you want. You don't necessarily have to do this way. You can do just like a smile or something. That's totally up to you, but I think it looks nice doing it that way. Now we're going to do the eyes. So from the eyes, we're going to go up 1, 2, 3 rows. Okay, so we have here, this is where our last stitch is of the mouth. So this is another row here, and here. So you kind of want to go where the mouth ends here, but we're going to go through the back and the third row. 1, 2, 3 stitches or rows up after the mouth. So right here. So we're going to go from the back though. You got to find that stitch. I know sometimes it's a little hard, but find that stitch. Let me see here. Right here. So right there. Okay, and then you're going to pull your needle. Okay, now we're going to make kind of like a little triangle. So the triangle is going to be through this stitch and this stitch right next to it. Okay, so the first stitch we're going to go into is right here. Okay, so this is a stitch. We're going to go it's a little triangle right here. You're going to be able to see it right there, and then you're going to go from the top and pull your yarn. Now these triangles don't come out like to be exact perfect, but it doesn't really matter because it's a pumpkin. Nothing is perfect. Now from the bottom, we're going to go to this stitch right here next to it. Okay, right here. So from the inside, right there, you're going to pull up, and then you're going to go back into this top stitch right here. Okay, and then we're going to go from inside, and we're going to go through this stitch right here from the inside, right back into that same stitch there, pull out, and then from the top we're going to go to this same stitch right here, and that forms our little triangle. Again, it's not that perfect, but it's okay. So then we're going to go over to the next area. So right here on the top, you're going to kind of go over and find a spot right here. So this is 1, 2, like 3 stitches. And then on the 4th stitch, this is where we're going to put our needle here. So we're going to go into that stitch right there. See, we skipped 1, 2, 3, and then going into that stitch right there. Pull it up to the top. And then we're going to be going into this stitch and this stitch to make the triangle. So first we're going to go over here, and we're going to go through the top and then bring it out this way. Okay. Now from the inside of the pumpkin, we're going to go to that next stitch right there, pull it up, and then we're going to go back into this top stitch and go through that way. Okay. Now we're going to go from this stitch to this stitch and pull that through. Okay, let me get this back on my hook. I mean, and if you don't want To do it this way, you can definitely put safety eyes. That's totally up to you. And then pull it through. And you're done. There's our little face right there. Okay, so now what you're going to do is flip it over. And this is the yarn that we left inside. And then this is the yarn that we're working. We're going to just tie a knot. 2 knots. And then just cut this string off here, the black. And flip it back around. And that's what the pumpkin is looking like. Okay, now we only have 2 more rows to do. Okay, and the next 2 rows we're going to be doing decreases. So we have 24 single crochets going around. So for the next row, we're going to do 12 decreases. Okay, so then we'll have 12 stitches left. And doing the decrease kind of helps the pumpkin so it's more flat at the bottom, so it sits really nice. Okay, so it sits really nice. It's not rounded at the bottom, so it can sit. So that's why we're going to do the next row. Row 11 is going to be a decrease row. So in every stitch around, we're going to do a decrease. So to do that, what I like to do is I like to grab the front loops only. This one and then this one. I mean, you can do it how you want it, but I do it with the front loops. Okay, so we're going to go put it into the front loop. Then go ahead and put it into the next front loop. Now you can do it any way you want. There's, this is the invisible decrease. So then pull up the yarn over and pull through both. Put your stitch marker back in so you can mark that row or the first stitch. So that's number 1. So again, we're going to do 12 decreases. We had 24. We're going to do 12 decreases. In every stitch, we're going to do a decrease. So again, I'm going to the next stitch, going into the front loop, going into the next front loop, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through. That's our second decrease. Again, front loop, second front loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through. Okay, so we're going to do this 12 times all the way around, and after round 11 you will have 12 stitches left. I'm going to continue to do this, and I will see you at the end of round 11. So here I finished my decreases, 12 decreases, and I have 12 stitches left. And I'm sorry, I forgot the most important thing for this little pumpkin is the stuffing. I don't know how I forgot that. I'm not used to working with stuffing in some of my tutorials, but I've completely forgot we need stuffing. So after round 11, we're going to stuff our pumpkin. So I'm just going to take the stitch marker out because I don't want this to get in the way. And what I like doing when I'm doing the stuffing is I like grabbing this and I put my finger through it just so I don't lose it. Okay. And then I grab this yarn and I kind of just wrap it around the back so that I can go ahead and focus on putting the stuffing in. So you just want to go ahead and stuff it. And then what I like doing is pushing the stuffing to the sides. Okay. So I kind of, with my finger, just kind of push to the sides. And then just keep stuffing. And just push it to the sides and down and to the sides until you get what you want. So as you see, I'm pushing it in. Okay, almost. Kind of fill it until you feel it's good enough. You don't want to overstuff it because you want the bottom to be flat so that it can sit really nice. Now, if you want to put a keychain on this, you can do that as well. But I'm not doing a keychain. And again, these are for the kids, so I'm just making them like this and kind of just go around and stuff it. You know, I have a little space right there, so I'm going to put a little bit more. And I think that's good enough. And then usually what I do is I kind of put my finger or thumb in here and just make sure that everything is in there really nice. Okay. And I think that's good enough. So now we're going to do one more row of decrease. So we have 12 stitches here. So we're going to do another decrease. In every stitch, we're going to do a decrease. So we're going to have 6 decreases here. Okay. So, Okay, and you don't, if you want to put the stitch marker in, go right ahead. It's all up to you. So we're going to go into the front loops again, into the first front loop, the second front loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through. If you want to put your stitch marker, go ahead. Now, it's all up to you on how many stitches you want to do. I try to do 5 or 6 and then close up at the bottom. It's totally up to you. You know, once you start doing this, it does get a little bit harder because the stitches are tighter. So depending on you when you want to close it up. So this is my second decrease right here. Okay, then the next 2 stitches go into the front loop, yarn over and pull through. Okay, again, front loop, and pull through. Okay, again, it can get a little tighter as you get to the end here. Okay, we have 2 more stitches left here. And like I said, this is getting a little bit tight here, so you just got to be a little bit patient here. 1 and then 2. And if you wanted to stop at this point and just do that, you can go ahead because this last one is a little tight. Okay, so now we're done. We did our decreases. Now we're going to leave a little tail so that we can close that ring up. I'm pulling this through, taking my stitch marker out. Okay, and we're going to grab our needle here, darning needle, and we're going to close up. And you're pretty much done with the pumpkin. Okay, so what I like doing, okay, is I like going in like that, and then I go this way, and then I go this way, then I go from the inside out like that, like that. Okay, then just close it up, and it closes. And then what I like doing is right here in the center, I just kind of push it through the back over here, up, pull tight. Okay, so that goes in, and then I will do it again. Depends on how long your yarn is. And what I like doing when I get up here is I like going over 1 stitch. I don't go into the same stitch. I go over a stitch, okay, and then down. And then you can cut your yarn if you want. And here we have our little pumpkin. Cute. And let me show you, as you can see, when we did the 2 rows of decrease, it sits very nicely. It's not rounded at the bottom, so it's not rolling back and forth. It sits really, really nice. And if you wanted to put a keychain, you can go ahead and do that in the back over here. Put a keychain or whatever you want. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Again, this is for Halloween for my trunk or treaters. I wanted to share this video with you since I thought it was cute, easy, and simple. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think, and have a great day. Thank you.